Good morning and Jai Hind students. Today I am going to begin ninth class history chapter 1 and the name of the chapter is the French Revolution. First of all, before studying any chapter we have to understand the aim of that chapter, why we are studying this. So the aim of the chapter to teach you all about the outcomes of the French Revolution which happened on the world level first of all time. So the first outcome of the French Revolution, which whole world grabs at that moment, was liberalism. Liberalism means free, that common people were free to choose their government, and government division of powers were there: executive, legislature, and judiciary. So they limited, first of all, through the French Revolution, French people had limited the powers of the monarch by dividing the powers of the government within three: executive, legislature, and judiciary. Then another outcome which was very important, which we count as today the point of democracy, that is written constitution. First of all time, any country on the world level, people sat down together 20th June 1789 and they wrote down the French constitution to limit the powers of the monarch. Another outcome of the French Revolution which whole world got after French Revolution was uniform weight and measure system and one currency system, tricolor flag, national anthem, so many sort of thing what we know today as written constitution. These were the aim of the chapter and outcomes of the French Revolution, and that is why we are studying. It had a symbolic importance in the history. Now, as to introduce the chapter, the first page, which is page number 3, is an introduction for the chapter which begins from the end. What was the result of the French Revolution? It begins with that the outburst of the French Revolution was 14th July 1789, because Paris, the city of Paris, people were rumored that king will send the troop to have fire on them, to open fire on them, because they were not paying extravagant taxes imposed on them. So the people here were not there to let down in front of the king's army. They were not fearful. They were ready to fight back, and some 7,000 men and women gathered together and formed the people's militia, and they were in search of the arms and they attacked on the governmental buildings to get the arms to fight back the king's army. Now, another incident which you are going to study on page number 3, that is Bastille Fort attack. So, in search of arms and ammunition, they were knowing that the Bastille Fort, which was the king's fort and which stood for the despotic power of the king, they targeted first of all that, and they killed the commander, released the seven prisoners. But their anger was not stopped there. They had demolished the whole fort and collected its stone fragments and sold in the market. Few people had kept the stone fragment as the souvenir or the reminder for the destructions or a qualitative work which they have done to create history in France. So now from here we'll enter in the causes of French Revolution. I always divide this chapter within three terms. First is causes, then is spread, and then result. So now we'll begin chapter with the causes of French Revolution, and causes begins with page number 4 and lasted up to page number 7 or second paragraph page number 8. So I divide causes of French Revolution within three: political, social, and economical. And now I am going to begin it with the political causes. In 1774, Louis XVI of the Bourbon family ascended the throne. He was from Bourbon dynasty, and at the age of 20 year, he was a very short while of age. He got this kind of privilege. He got married with the Austrian princess Mary Antoinette. So he was lucky by his character in the presence in the history. But he founded empty treasury, and when he searched the region for empty treasury, he came to know that grandfather Louis XV had taken 1 billion million loan, liver of loan, which he was failed to pay, and now another for the extravagant court to spend on it for his lavish life, and for the American War of Independence to spend money on it. Louis XVI also had borrowed 1 billion livre loan. After the American colonies were independent, nothing Louis XVI had got except of a friendly relation, but he was there to pay the loan amount. Now, the borrower, whom the loan lenders whom had given loan to Louis XVI, they were demanding that 1 billion livre of Louis XV for Anglo-Francaise war and 1 billion livre which he had taken. By adding up 10% interest charges, first of all he had to pay all the amount, and then only he'll be getting the other loans. So the loan amount was spent on the maintenance of a court at Versailles, and to free the American 13 colonies from Britain. Louis XVI ordered his government to pay the loan. He ordered his government first of all, but government already was in the deficit and refused to pay because they have to pay the salary, they have to give the increments, and they were failed to pay the loan amount. And they even his government only advised Louis XVI to impose extra taxes on the third state, and that is why on 5th May 1789 the General Assembly was conducted to increase the extra taxes on the third state. From here we'll enter in the social causes. When we came to know that the third state alone will pay the taxes, extravagant taxes, which the loan amount Louis XVI had taken, now we have to enter in the social causes, how the French society was. So the French society was following feudal system in which monarch, clergy and nobility, they were not supposed to pay any sort of taxes, but in turn they were collecting taxes from third state, which was full of merchant, traders, farmers, peasants, doctor, professor, lawyers, landless laborers and poorers. So only third state was responsible to pay taxes to the clergy, nobility and monarch. Condition of clergy nobility was very well. They were far more richer than the third state farmers, peasant and landless laborers. 60% land owned by this clergy and nobility group, and rest other land was under the rich people of third state. So it means that farmers, peasants and landless laborers condition was worse than nothing, because they were supposed to pay the taxes, equivalent taxes which the rich class of third state was paying, but income resources were nowhere in the France for them. Nobles enjoy feudal privileges and peasants were obliged to render their services at home and at lands of the clergy and nobility. Church extracted the taxes called tethys, and nobility extracted the taxes called thail. Apart from this, so many indirect taxes like on tobacco, on salt, getting rope to make hut, to make houses, these kind of small other daily items taxes were there which third state alone supposed to pay. So another social causes was the role of middle classes and philosophers. Middle classes always a elite educated class who one hand perform its fundamental duties for the government very well, but another hand the middle class is only responsible to create all the revolutions around the world, because this class not only perform its duty well, but they demand for their rights also to the government. They know their importance in the economy. And another one, philosophers. Philosophers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Montesquieu. They provoked people to envisage to end the privileges based on birth which clergy and nobility were enjoying. So envisages the society based on freedom and equal uniform laws. It was the demand of these philosophers. Philosophers in two treatises of government like John Locke had sought to refute the divine and absolute right of monarch. Like monarch was only responsible to conduct the court and to give the decision, no written constitution. One day he can make law, another day he can oppose that law or cancel that law. It was the right of monarch. So Locke was against, John Locke was against of this kind of right which was provided to the monarch by his people. Another one step forward taken up by the Rousseau, he had proposed a kind of government which was based on social contract between the government and the people. Means government committed to welfare for the people and people are committed to elect the government, means representative form of government. One more step ahead taken up by Montesquieu. He had advised when people had based on social contract made their government, now the government should be divided within three: executive, legislature, and judiciary, so that no one can misuse the power provided by the common people through the representative form of government to the country. Now, economical causes. Economical causes means economics related, means money related. So, France between 1715 to 1789 was going through the subsistence crisis. Means under the subsistence crisis, it can rise in any economy. Today also, the world is going through with that economic crisis only. So, subsistence crisis where livelihood related important food grain system or anything declined or endangered. So, France was in the subsistence crisis from 1715. Why? Because the 23 million population in 1715 now rose up to the 28 million. And demand for food grain increased, but the production as compared to the population's demand cannot compete with the demand. On the other hand, laborers were getting less of wages, so their salaries cannot keep pace with the demand, high prices of goods and their salary. So the gapping between rich and poor widened, and this became a worse situation because of major times hail and drought which affects the harvest in the France. So my dear student, I have completed causes of French Revolution, and the causes are divided within three major system, that was political, social and economical. Thank you. Jai Hind.